Hello everybody, thank you for joining again. This is Nesto. Today I want to do something a little bit different. I have been asked by a couple of people to try to do a lowering video to show you guys how I slam my cars, how I lower them. There are a few different techniques that I use, maybe like 3 or 4 I think, but I'm going to start with the simplest one, the easiest one. And this one does not require a lot of steps or a lot of work, I think. If you pay attention to the car, especially like so, you can see that there is a gap between the wheel and the wheel well right here. How big is that gap? I don't know, but it seems pretty big. So as you can see, there is room for the wheels to come a little bit higher up since there's that gap. And of course, you gotta get your little jack to raise the car up like that. You gotta get your wheels, which this time I'm going to be using monoblock wheels. And you have to get the tools in order to put that there. Just kidding, guys. Anyway, this is very important. You're not gonna be able to do the wheel swap without this jack. Just kidding. Anyway, so yes, let's see how this goes. As you can see, I had already drilled this car out. I used my drill bit right here. The drill bit that I used is 1/8 of an inch. And I like to use these golden ones. I'm just gonna show you right here. I like to use this kind of drill bits because they are reinforced. They're like titanium, so you can drill wood, PVC, even metal. So they're pretty strong, and they have a hard core, which I have not broken one of these yet. I am not gonna jinx myself. I hope I don't break them, but they're pretty sturdy. They do last a long time. This right here is just it's a test decal that I did. Nothing serious there, so I'm just grabbing this car to show you guys. So anyway, since I had already removed the base from it, you can see the wheel. These real wheels, the axles, are still attached to the car. So what I do here, I grab my little flat screwdriver, put it in between these little pieces of plastic that are holding the axle in place, kind of push it in between them and kind of twist it a little bit. After that, the wheel's pretty loose. You can just place your screwdriver here right under the axle and pop it up like so. So now we have this free. A very important step is we have to get rid of this material down here, this extra material, or this extra plastic, right here. We have to make this smooth to allow the car to be dropped a little bit. Let me get my file. Be right back. Okay, so I grabbed them. Let me show you. I use these two mainly for the bottom. So I have this big one and this triangular, which is a little bit smaller. So what I do normally, just grab my car. Actually, I'm going to use the triangular one. Fits better. So I'm just going to do this number right here. It's hard to do it in camera, but you get the idea. You see it's getting a little smoother. Let me do this real quick. So I went with the file and I did this off camera so that I could do it a little bit faster and more proper. So now you can see it's sitting low. Now, this is the little trick that I was telling you guys about. Check this out. These little pieces of what do you call it? Where's the paper? I don't have the paper. Anyway, I got these from Walmart. They are by the craft sections, you know, where the wire for the jewelry and stuff. I think this is what these are meant for. You know, you could put like little beads inside of them and turn them into earrings type of thing. But, you know, one end is already crimped, or one end's got the flat. All you have to do is flatten the other end. And this is axle material. Big shout to my friend Rivera's Hot Wheels, because he's the one that told me about this. And I was like, man, are you serious? Those things are crazy. Look, that's so nice. And they are soft. You can crimp the ends with no problem. So yes, I'm going to explain this real quick. So in order for you to be able to raise the wheels a little bit more, to tuck them in, what I normally do is I cut a piece of this material about the length of this axle. So you can see the length from here, from the top to the bottom. This is how long my axle needs to be, or this tubing, which I'm gonna cut. So I just pretty much put it there, and then I come back with these clippers, cut it up. So now you see it is the same size. And after you do this, I would actually glue this down with super glue. And after gluing that down, if I put the tires or the axle back on, I'll show you what it looks like. Of course, you're not gonna be able to put it on because you need to do something else. You gotta do a little extra trick to make this work. And I will show you shortly. Okay, so as you can see, I'm trying to put this back in. It does not close completely. You can see the front bumper is not closing all the way as it should. You can see that the tires, the wheels are a lot lower now. A lot lower. But the car is not closing completely. And the reason for that, the reason why it's not closing completely is because we raised the height. You can see there. The axle would normally sit all the way at the bottom, but since we raised it up, it does not fit inside of these little plastic well right here. Yep, so this area that I'm pointing at with the screwdriver needs to be filed down a little bit. And how do I do that? That is a little tricky, but I grab my knife, I grab this piece, which let me see if I can, there it goes. And I go like that. And kind of push it in as I'm kind of scraping some of that material away. So yeah, you do that, and then you gotta do the other side too. Okay, so I think that should be enough. I'm gonna put this back on place, back in the car. Now we're gonna put this back here. Hell yeah. Now you can see the front of the car. it is closing more. It is more flush. Look at the wheels though. They're all the way up there. This one, there you go. So I'm gonna do that on the other side really quick. Okay, so real quickly, I went ahead and put some super glue right here, and I'm gonna try to put some over here too. Whoops, that was a lot. That's a lot of super glue. It's okay. So with this axle, you know, I'm spreading it on the area, then I'm placing the axle over there, holding it down a little bit. You can come back with the screwdriver, push it down to make sure it's flush. And we can leave that there to dry for a little bit. I'm going to get the axles ready. And I'm gonna get these wheels right here, the ones that I showed you. And we're gonna grab some of these axles to fit them in here. So let me do this one real quick. Let me show you. Put it there. Nice. Place the other tire or wheel. Cool. Then I will actually... It's a little tricky. But yeah. I would actually place it right here where it would go to kind of get the length. Oh, well, you can see what I'm doing right here. Then after I get them situated, placed where they're supposed to be, come back with the clippers, cut that out, and then I grab this axle like so. I'm gonna grab my pliers and I'm gonna crimp the end of it very lightly. You can see. And yep. And then you can come back here and measure. Oh yeah, it's too big. You see how the axle is too big? Yeah, no problem. What I do here, push them back over to one end, clip this a little bit more, and repeat the steps. And crimp this down a little bit. And there you go. It should fit now. Well, still has a lot of wiggle room. Well, it's because it's not pushed down all the way. So let's, make some room for that. And let's try it on. I mean, I'm saying this is the easiest, but it's not really so easy. I mean, it's the simpler, I think. But I forgot to do something on the rear. Silly me. I have to prepare this like I did on the other side. So let me do that real quick. Okay, I took a little bit of that plastic off with my blade. So let's try this again. Excellent. Now it's just about finding the right tires, because these tires right here are too thick, but you can see how the wheel well is completely filled. Now the car is lowered, but you need a lot more tweaking in order to make it roll. Like for instance, this wheel right here, you know, kind of wanting to roll, but not really. So what would I do there? Either I have two options. I can either grind the inner fender or the inner wheel well with my Dremel, which I can show you real quick. Let me pull it out. Right here. This is my Dremel, and this is the tip that I started to use right here. Man, this thing is a lifesaver. I used to use this small one right here. This one. Man, I used to shake a lot, and I used to get out of the area where I was grinding down onto the casting, and I would ruin it. Man, that was so hard. But with this new one that I got, it has made the job so much easier. It's unbelievable. For this though, you need to grind this area like that. All of this. And you have to wear protective eye glasses or goggles. And this is how it goes. Okay, this was just a test, as you could see. I think you saw it on video. Since I was doing it through the camera, I was not able to hold it steady, to keep a steady hand, and the Dremel got out of control, and I hit the fender, you can see, right here on the outside. No big deal, like I said, because this was just a test piece. But if I was doing something more serious, I would actually take my time. But you can see what that does. It takes the inner fender out compared to this inner side, to the other side, I'm sorry. And let's see what it does. The casting back on. That is fucking sick. You can see what just happened by just taking that down a little bit. That is crazy. So, as you could see, we would need to do the same thing on the other side to make it roll just about the same. But that, my friends, I mean, I was going to show you the easy method, but I ended up showing you the two methods I use. And I mean, the Dremel is the way to go, like I said, because without that, I used to do it by hand with some small files I had, and it would take me forever. And you can see that right now. It only, how long did I do that for? A minute. And that's what you can get. But yeah, I know I only did one side, only one axle. But that's exactly what you need to do on all four sides. And after you're done, you should have a car that rolls just like that. So there it is. I went ahead and finished the four sides with the Dremel, and I applied the axles, and you can see how low it is and still spinning. I had a little accident here because I was doing it really fast. You can see how I hit the casting with the Dremel on the outside. But you know, even there too, I spent a little too long in this area in the front wheel. So you gotta be aware of that with the Dremel. But other than that, I think this casting looks okay. But you guys let me know what you think. I hope this video was not too boring, not too long, and you learned a little bit of something. I'm about to run out of time, but I really thank you for watching, guys. I will be making more videos like this, more polished too. This was a spare of the moment kind of thing. But thank you for watching. Leave me some comments and have a great weekend. Thank you, guys.